All right, welcome to week 7 of the Six Sigma Road League with driving LMP3s. The drivers should be starting their flying laps of qualifying. This week we're at Daytona, getting everybody extra track time in prep for the 24 hours coming up this weekend. Should be a good one. Hopefully, you can see it's night now. Hopefully it works out to where we get a nice sunrise as the feature begins. As usual, we got qualifying, and then we have a 15-minute feature, a 10-minute break, and then a 15-minute sprint, 10-minute break, and then a 45-minute feature. It's going to be nice and cool since it's at nighttime with the sun coming up. Should be about 5 o'clock a.m. in sim. Let's go ahead and look at the points here real quick. So currently in the pros, we have Richard Hibbs leading with a 1661. He's got a 20-point gap there to Brandon Dooley, who we can see driving around in the background right now. Then not too far behind him, we have Skylar Rabin. Then there's kind of starts to be a gap. We got Declan, who's really close to Richard, Georgie, Sean, Morgan, Jolie, and Andrew round out the top 10 there. A couple of those cars don't have, or multiple of those drivers don't have all their races in, so the points are a little bit outdated, I guess you could say, because we have 2 drop weeks out of the 9. So next week things will start to match up more and more, and then the last week we'll know for sure where everyone sits. In the amateurs, we have Mark Rondow sitting in first with a pretty decent lead over Kenny McGrath of 24 points. Then we got Ryan Phillips not too far behind that. And then we have Chan and Rashana tied for 4th and 5th. Ken Chrisman 6th, Daryl Klotz 7th, Jeffrey Oakes, and then Daniel Reinhardt and Nathan rounding out the top 10. Logan Key dropping down to 11th, but Logan is no longer racing this season as he took on something else and doesn't have this time slot available anymore. That pretty well covers that. Let's see how the times are looking here. Best time. There we go. So currently we have Declan as the only one in the 42s, the 42.956. I'm not sure how these cars feel around here. I did drive this track a little bit, but testing it in a GTP. I guess we could have some car audio now. So I'm not sure how the LMP3 feels around it. Oh, Peter Arundel just barely inching out Declan there. With Tiago in 3rd. Sean Ryan coming in with a 42.75 basically. We'll look over at Sean's car here. Let's get on the gyro and have a little ride. Daytona is a great track, but it is a very hard track to maximize, especially the bus stop coming around on the back stretch. It's so easy to change how you drive through it that it's almost, at least to me, it's almost impossible to do it the same twice. I always have the hardest time finding consistency through there. Here we have drivers get 3 laps. It looks like most everyone has done 2 so far. So pretty much everyone's on their third. Oh, Richard Wishown pops in that last lap. Ooh, that might have been an off track for Sean. Yep, that was a 1X, so this lap will not count. Oh, and Peter just taking him out. Taking out Rick. Who else do we got that's out there? Declan's coming around. How's Declan gonna finish? Peter actually has another lap. He's got another attempt at pole. Declan improves. Yes, Declan moves up to third. Let's go have a look at Peter here. He's about the only one still going. Oh no, Jeff Oakes just started, it looks like. He's got one lap in, currently in 19th. There's a couple people that haven't qualified. Here's coming through the bus stop. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not sure how these cars feel around here, but as much as I haven't really liked this car at a couple tracks I tested it at, I can't imagine that it's any easier here. I feel like he was just cruising at the end there. Yep, he gets a 143.2, so not going to improve at all. But look at that, the between the pole sitter and P2, it looks like there's a whole 0.003 of a gap. That's pretty close. So Jeff Oakes is currently out there finishing up his laps. We got about 5 minutes left in qualifying before we move over to the sprint. When we move over to the sprint, we'll have a little chat with the drivers. I believe Jeff has one more lap. See if he can improve on his lap here. Go for another ride here. See what it's like going through the bus stop again. Only 4.3 off. You know, that's really not that bad. I have found, out of like all the tracks I have raced, Daytona, at least for me, I don't know if it's for anybody else, Daytona for me is like the absolute hardest to maximize. And mostly it's the bus stop. It's so hard to hit the bus stop just right or figure out how to even do it. And then also the first corner is difficult to maximize. And then that second corner, that's the hard right, it's so difficult. And then the last corner, is it Sunset or what do they call it? Anyways, not Sunset, but the last corner before you get back on the oval is so important to your speed getting on the oval. It's just so hard. The track layout looks fairly easy, but it's really for as round and as everything looks, it's a very technical track. Oh, and Jeff improves on his time with a 143.836, bringing him up to 13th, which is going to place him as the second amateur. We got Daniel Reinhardt taking the top position of the amateurs tonight with where's our points leader? Points leader down in 19th. This could be interesting. Watching a few other guys to see what they're doing, attempting and spun out. Yeah, it is. It really is just it's a track that looks like it shouldn't be much to it, but it is something else for sure. Go ahead and pop the track info back up there. Don't forget, tomorrow night we got a little section there of upcoming events. Oval League tomorrow at the Talladega in the trucks. It's gonna be a wild time. Ben will be adminning and broadcasting, as you can see on at Turbo Bull 1778. I will be streaming it on my Twitch channel with my POV. It'll be a good night. We'll see if there's the big one that wrecks the entire field. Got about 1:30 left in the session here. Yeah, I'd probably enjoy that a little more too. It can be, since it's super speedway, it can be a little boring for most of the race because you're just kind of holding your position. I mean, you're close to everyone, so it's kind of tense because you don't want to make any small mistake and wreck the entire field. But at the same time, a lot of it's just kind of holding the position until you get close to the end, and then you really start fighting. It's just kind of a waiting game at that point. Why didn't the camera change? I had this on scenic. I figured the camera would move around, but I guess we just get this one view. Actually, I'm clicking. Is there no scenic here? I'm clicking scenic and it's not doing anything. Nothing's doing anything. I guess because it's on a car that's on track. If we click Richard and then click scenic. Nope. Not sure what the deal is with that. Anyways, we got 10 seconds to go before they line up for the sprint race. Then I'll pop up the grid and we'll go have a little chat. Welcome to Daytona, everybody. Hopefully, when we get to the feature, we'll have a nice little sunrise at the beginning of it. Everybody knows the drill. Try to take it easy on the first lap. You know, sprint race, you got a decent amount of time. Feature race especially. I'm not sure how hard T1 is because you're not really going that fast, I guess. But, yep, just watch out. Pay attention. Have fun. I think that's it.
Leave it to the Miata driver to see 260 kph isn't that fast.
Ryan, it's go when I want to go, right? I don't have to wait for the green flag.
Yeah, it's on leader. Oh, I need to take that off. Oh, wait a second. When did Sean take? No, that was okay.
Kenny, I'm running way slower.
I'm already losing my mind. I don't know why I thought somebody else was first and not Sean. Anyways, we got Sean starting off on the pole in row 1 alongside Peter Arundel. Row 2, we got Declan and Rick Washown. Row 3, Tiago Fernandez starting in that P5 with Jimmy Hayden right next to him. Row 4, Morgan Teggy and Daniel Reinhardt, which is our top. Did I not see Daniel earlier? That's our top amateur of the night. Row or was I? Row 6. We got Skylar Rabin and Brandon Dooley starting out, finishing up the top 10. Row 7, Richard Hibbs, Joe Lee. Was that to me?
They actually kind of scoop.
Oh, no. Where's the grid? Uh-oh, I don't have a grid button to cycle through.
Good luck, Rich.
I guess that's all we're looking at the grid. Because I don't know where my... Oh, wait, there. Oh, I found it. But now it's a little late. As always. Anyways. Getting ready to go green here. We'll have a look and get a nice distant view here. We'll watch all the cars as they go through T1, make sure everyone survives, and here they go. Sean is away. Getting a nice little jump on the start there. Everybody's filtering in. We got some 2 wides. I don't think there's any 3 wide. Everybody is through. We got to watch this second corner as well, as it's pretty tight. Everybody coming through. Also, I forgot music. All right, we'll turn the music down. Oh, Peter getting right on the tail of Sean. It's going to make him lose a little bit of time. Declan's going to pop up there into second. My TV3 is really zoomed out. I might need to get zoomed in a little bit. Actually, let's watch as they come through the horseshoe here. Second horseshoe. Oh, we got a slide. Everybody makes it around just fine. Next, we got to see how the bus stop goes. I'm interested how this group is going to look as we get to the bus stop. All right, they thin out, single file through. Very nicely done. Oh, somebody's slow. I wonder what happened there. That Skylar was side by side. He's going to go ahead and tuck in behind Brandon. Going out. Oh, we're almost 3 wide. Coming into T1. Sean's still out there leading. This is just too much good racing back here. Oh, we're 3 wide now. Oh, there's a little bump to Brandon. Brandon goes out into Skylar. They hold it together, though.
Right.
Oh, we got a crash in the back. Everybody, looks like everybody's going again. Rick Washown next to Jimmy. Rick's going to hold on to the position. I know it's only been a lap and a half, but wow. It's like Morgan's leading a little pack here from 5th to 7th. Richard Hibbs almost trying to sneak in there on Jimmy. Not going to make it happen before the bus stop. Daniel Reinhardt side by side with Skylar. Daniel still so far the highest placed amateur. We have some side by side going down into turn 1.
Go around, up damage people.
Get Tiago coming up in the mix. Right behind him is Andrew Storzum and Joe Lee. Andrew's going to get the spot back. Tiago chasing down Daniel. Looks to the inside, just showing him he's there. Oh, Andrew getting a little loose back there. Joe Lee's going to take the spot from him. Oh, he's not quite clear going into the horseshoe. Or the second horseshoe? What's that corner called? I know there's a first horseshoe. Andrew is going to take it back. Let's go have a look at our leader real quick. Sean's been holding on to the lead so far, but there hasn't been much of a gap. It's been about 0.3 of a second between the top 4 people in their own little group up there. Oh, I just realized I have best laps up. We need to change that. Nope, not that. Oops. Where's car number? Car number. There we go. That's better. What else do we got back here? The top 4's still kind of holding their own little party, but Morgan in 5th seems to be gaining, and he's bringing everyone with him. He's got another 4 cars as a train behind him. There's a little bit of a gap after that to Skyler. Hopefully Skyler can get back up there. If he doesn't have a pack to race with when he gets on the straight, though, they're just going to leave him in their own little draft train. Oh, Peters goes up high. I don't know if he's going to try to get a run down the hill. Maybe he's got something else going on. I'm not sure why he would go up high and drop out like that. He's not going to have any draft. I wonder if something's damaged on the car maybe. As this whole group's going to get around him here. Oh, I hate to see that if he does actually have some kind of damage. This will be the second week in a row he's qualified really well, and is having some bad luck off the start. So far, a couple positions ahead of him, though. Rich Hibbs is up 6 positions from the start of the race. Doing great. Oh, we got Declan and Richard right next to each other. Declan's going to have the inside, take the position. Going to keep that second place. With the 4th car dropping out of that lead pack, that's going to kind of open. I think that kind of opened up the gap to Morgan. He's going to have a little longer to try to get those groups back together. I can see all the 1Xs lighting up as everyone goes through the bus stop. Declan getting real close to Sean. Is he going to try something down into T1? He goes on the outside. They are side by side. Oh, if he's not careful, Richard's going to sneak in there, though. Sean's going to hold it on the inside. Rich gets a little bit loose. Morgan's coming up into 3rd. Richard Hibbs also gets through, which now puts him up 7 positions. If he can hold on to it. They're going to be side by side through the kink. That's never really much fun. Oh, they got into... Oh, no! They touched a little bit, and suddenly his nose just fell off. How? That looked like barely any contact at all. That's really going to hurt Richard here. Thankfully, he's only got 5 minutes under 5 minutes left, and a whole entire 45-minute race to make it up. We'll go back to the leaders as Declan is right on the heels of Ryan. See what the draft does for him here. Usually at this track, it's almost better to be in second until the very last lap when you come down the straight. Then you try to get the run and beat him to the line. So Sean may be at a disadvantage sitting in first, depending on how these draft. I don't think these cars really draft nearly as much as a lot of others, though, so we'll see how that ends up coming around here in a few minutes. Got maybe 3 laps left of the sprint. And this top group, it's like a 6-car train now. First back to 6th before there's over a second in the gap. Which Peter is still sitting in 6th. I'm not sure why he had the big slowdown if he's still holding on to that position. I don't know, maybe he can make some of it back. Further back, I guess we had something happen to... Was Declan in that crash? Or not Declan. Was Daniel in that crash that happened? I see currently Nathan Mishler is the leading amateur driver, sitting in 14th. Not sure what happened to Daniel Reinhardt. Nathan's going to try to go on the outside here. Slips back in behind. Oh, and we missed it. Declan took the lead. Where is it? Let's get
Jimmy, you don't have a replay, by the way.
get a little replay of that. Came out on the outside.
Go outside, go outside.
Oh, just had a little bit of a touch, which upset Sean's car. Let's have a look at what they got going on with Jimmy and Richard here. Morgan also went off track. Oh, wow. That all happened from the little event with Sean. Where's my replay camera? There it is. That little wiggle, and everybody was just so stacked up, there was nothing they could do about it. All right, we'll go back to live. We got 1 minute left. We just started a lap. So this should be last lap. I hate that it never tells me that. If we go back in the field, we might be able to see Barney waving the white flag here. Nope, nobody's really... Have a look at Shay. Nope, I can't see Barney. Oh, with that little wiggle that Sean had kind of upsetting the train behind him, Declan may have run away with this one. The gap's all kind of widened. Peter's going to be fighting Morgan for P3. Gap kind of opens up past the bus stop there. Sean's got a draft on Declan. Can he bring it back? Here he comes. Barney's waving the flag. It's going to be close. Who got it? Declan by 3 thousandths. What a close finish. We got Morgan taking third, Peter taking fourth, Skylar taking fifth, Brandon Dooley in sixth, Richard Hibbs seventh, Jimmy Hayden eighth, Tiago ninth, Coy McGrath taking 10th, Steve Kelly in 11th, Andrew Storzum 12th. Then we got Nathan coming in as in 13th as the #1 amateur with Jeff Oakes in 14th, and Mark Rondeau, the current AM points leader, in 15th or 3rd as the amateur for the sprint race.
Like it was pretty good all up.
That was a pretty solid race. We had a couple little hiccups there with some contact and a couple slides, but overall pretty clean. We're going to take a 10-minute break here as we get the last car on a lap, I believe. Yep, there's the switches. Let's get the correct results up. I got the correct... Wait, now it says 6 thousandths. Didn't it say 3 thousandths before? Let's have a little
Sun's coming out.
let's have a little replay of that. Let's go to Sean. Maybe? I don't know if it'll let me rewind to there. Oh. Is that gonna be I don't know if it's gonna let me do it there. Let's just make this empty and go in sim the ugly way here for a second. We got Sean laps. Heat 1 on the last lap. That last lap was a 42.2 as well. Speed through some of this here. Let's go reverse rear chase. There we go. Wait, I can click this over here easier. Let's have a look at Declan. We're coming to the line. Is he banned for going below the double yellow here? Let's have a, let's go to manual camera controls here. Oops. Oh, why does that? I don't know why the button goes back to fast again. It's kind of jumping on me for some reason. Anyways, there's the difference. That was close. All right, let's go back to live here. Get the results back up. Get the music back up. And I'll be back in 6 minutes for the 45-minute feature. Let's go. All right, we are back for the 45-minute feature. Let's go have a little chat with the drivers again. Oh, I still have the camera controls on. All right, good sprint out there. Looks like it's getting bright, having the sun come up. Get strapped in for 45 minutes. You got plenty of time to make any moves. No rush in the beginning. And hopefully it's nice and clean.
Gandalf should be coming out soon if you follow my directions.
Yep, Tiago told us when to start watching Lord of the Rings so that when the sun was rising, Gandalf would be in the sim. Gandalf would be coming out on the movie.
Not that delay, friends. I was in a menu in my VR. My bad.
All right, we kind of already know the lineup from the end of the last race. The field doesn't change at all. It's still lined up the same. Looks like kind of the thing to note is the amateurs starting in 13th with Nathan just off this list. All those amateurs are stacked up down there. They're going to be racing hard, ready to go. Green light coming up. We'll watch the cars as they go through the first few turns. Watch the field. Make sure there's no big oopsies. They're green and we're away. Declan's got a pretty decent little gap there to take off for the lead. I like TV3 for adminning here, watching the cars as they come through. There's some close cars, but we make it through. Have a look at Horseshoe here. Some of them going a little, no, they're not even really a little wide. It's all looking pretty good. Coming through here, everything looks great. All the drivers doing a great job keeping it together on track. Declan's got a bit of a gap going out there. Morgan has snuck up into that P2. Oh, we got a slide here. Looks like we just have two cars stuck against the wall. There's kind of nowhere to go. A little bit of a rough start back there with that, but no track blocking. Everybody that could get through is through. Hate to see it, though. So Morgan got snuck by Sean. Are we able to get a little replay of that? Not sure I can find it in my event list here. Everything that went on. I'm not seeing it in here. But now we got Morgan up on Declan. Getting close. Let's get the track map up there. I missed that last race, as I do a lot. Jimmy's side by side with Peter? Yeah, with Peter. I'm kind of starting to remember what cars look like.
I'm really sorry.
Oh, Tiago, no! Tiago goes for a ride out of the corner. Gets loose. Jimmy's going to take that spot from Peter, though. So far, with a few mistakes, Nathan is running up 3 positions in P10 as the top amateur, with Kenny McGrath not too far behind him in P12. And then currently Jeff Oakes just behind that in the 3rd for the AMs, 14th overall. Well, Declan and Morgan right on each other. It'd be interesting to see here if Morgan actually tries to get around and runs and tries to, you know, get ahead and possibly get away. It's almost impossible really to get away with all the drafting that goes on around the oval. But with Sean right there, able to put pressure right on the back of Morgan, I wouldn't be surprised if he wants around. You know, it looks like he's maybe trying to go to the outside, but he's not there yet. Declan says, you're not coming through this way. Morgan seems like he's a little bit better on the brakes. He gets right up next to Declan. But then he kind of has to wait on Declan to get on the gas to get away from him. So the gap opens a little bit on the exit. Have a look at Kenny back here. In a pretty good race with Tiago just in front of him. Jeff right behind him. I think Tiago got back around Kenny after the spin. Kenny, who, by the way, is up 7 positions from the start. Currently the biggest mover. Oh, Morgan dropped off of Declan a little bit. I wonder if he was a little slow through the bus stop there. Sean's going to go out on the outside. Didn't look like he quite has the run to hold him. Nope, Morgan's going to stay tucked down there on the inside. Sean's going to follow in behind. Skyler making another appearance, sneaking up there into P4. Ooh, a little bit of a lock up there on the front right. Also just set the fastest lap of the race with a 42.67. A little further back, we got Jimmy and Peter still going at it. Peter right there. I'm not too sure. Sitting in the top 5, 7, whatever. I'm not too sure how much pressure you really want to put on anybody this early. As you want to keep the draft going, you don't want to upset things too much and get slowed up. If you don't have a drafting pack when you're down the straight, you just are going to be losing out to everyone. Jimmy gets quite the gap coming out of the bus stop there. Morgan and Sean going to be close once again coming down into T1. Still not quite the run to be there on the outside, but Sean's showing his nose, letting him know he's there. Oh, Sean getting right on the back door of Morgan there. So far, Declan just running an absolute masterclass of a race here, keeping everything nice and straight. I hate to talk about it, give him a commentator curse, but he's just keeping it nice and clean, holding out there in the front. Not the fastest laps, but also he's the one leading. Everybody else gets to draft off him. Morgan's now pushing him. Might be trying to link up a little bit and run away from people behind him. See how they come out of the bus stop here. All pretty evenly spaced. Skyler's still sitting back and forth, and Brandon Dooley sneaking up there in 5th. So we got a little bit of a gap back to Jimmy, Peter. Looks like Richard Hibbs is going to be on the outside of Peter.
Coming on.
It's not quite. Yeah, not quite on the outside. Oh, shoots up the inside of. Oh, what happened to Sean? Did something happen to Shay there? Wait, no. I saw Shay crash. Oh, no, that was a few seconds before. What exactly happened there? Is that Declan? Let's see, Morgan went up the inside. Sean just a little late on the brakes, maybe? Too hard? A little late on the brakes, too hard entry going in there? Not exactly sure what happened. That's unfortunate, though. So at the front, Morgan does make it through. That's going to leave Declan in 2nd. Brandon Dooley sneaking up into 3rd. What happened to Skyler? That'll happen kind of at the same time. Maybe that was as they were going around. Oh, that's as they were going around Sean. Brandon was able to get the inside and get around Skyler. Last lap, though, Skyler throwing in the fastest lap again of a 42.47. Morgan and Declan right next to each other. Morgan's kind of got a wide entry, but has plenty of gap to take the inside. It's definitely sun rising. Nice and pretty out there. It's not black anymore. I'm glad our timing worked out as planned. Skyler brings it back up into 3rd. How did we miss that pass? Oh, Brandon went a little wide. Skyler got the run on him. Further back in the field, Richard Wishown just puts in the hottest lap of a 42.39. I'm sure through the course of the race, these times are going to be going down and down as they get lighter on fuel. A little look at Brandon and Skyler as they go through the bus stop. Oh, Brandon's right there. Is he just going to push? That would... Now he's going to try to get around here, maybe? That would... If you trust that the person in front of you is fast enough, pushing would be the smart play. Keep your two cars together, bump draft to keep the speed up, and try to catch the group ahead. But that's only if you think that the car in front of you is fast enough. Otherwise, you might try to take the position and try to get them to bump draft you if you think you're faster. Because as of now, as things have played out, Morgan and Declan are kind of their own little two group running away from Skyler and Brandon. We also have Richard Hibbs looming there in the background. Who I believe is our current points leader. I feel like I know the amateur points better than the pro points for some reason. Yeah, Richard Hibbs is our current points leader. Brandon Dooley's second. Skyler is third in the points. So you can never count out Richard Hibbs. He could be sneaking up there at any minute. He's got Peter Arundel behind him. Maybe if Peter can catch up to the back of him, they can get a little drafting pack going. Try to compete with these leaders. Further back, we got Georgie and Kenny McGrath. 16th and 17th. Shooting through the bus stop. These LMP3s sure do sound good. They kind of sound boring from the inside, I think, but from the outside perspective, they sound pretty great. Looks like Andrew had a pretty decent run out of the bus stop there. But his run kind of dies out a little bit, maybe, as he tucks back in. Georgie's going to hold the inside here, it looks like. Andrew's just going to follow behind. He's not quite there. Pretty good little blanket of cars. Whoa! Kenny got a little bit too much on the inside, I think. I'm not sure if he knew that Georgie was there. That was probably just a sudden car inside call by the spotter there. Richard Hibbs does have Peter right behind him now. Peter is caught up. So it'll be interesting to see we're a third of the way through the race at 15 minutes in with 30 more to go. Interesting to see if these two can group up and put some decent lap times in. Brandon and Skyler going side by side down the front straight. Does Brandon have enough to stay there on the outside? I think he might this time. Oh, gonna back off. Skyler's gonna take the inside, keep the position. Skyler seems very comfortable in these LMP cars. Last season he had some decent results, but a bit of a unlucky go and things like that with the GT3s. But with these LMP cars, seems like a whole nother world for him. He's been a top contender just consistently. Well, it looks like Coy and Jimmy packed up together here. We got kind of 2 by 2. We got Morgan and Declan running together. Skyler and Brandon running together. Rich and Peter running together. Then Jimmy and Coy running together. Sean's out on his own a little bit, but if he can make up some time on the infield section, he might be able to catch Coy and Jimmy. If they get the 3 together, they could make up some time down the straights. But like I say, these cars really don't draft all that much. At least not compared to a lot of other things. They seem fairly limited on draft. We're kind of probably about in the pit window now. The very start of the pit window, I would guess. I don't think we're going to really see anyone pitting unless they've had, some kind of issue happen. And I'm kind of betting we're just going to see these packs of two just kind of hang out with each other. After that, everybody's pretty well split up. Currently in 11th, Richard Wishown, who is also up 11 positions from the start. So having a great comeback race for the feature here. He's currently sitting right behind the amateur leader, Nathan Mishler, in P10. Having a great race so far, putting in some decent lap times. Tiago just set a really fast time by himself. He is behind Rich. Rich just put in the fastest at a 42.2. I think we're going to be seeing 41s by the end of the night. Rich didn't even really have anybody to draft off of. That's an incredible time. All the leaders were about 0.3 slower than that. Now we got Kenny McGrath in the pits. Not sure if he's just wanting to get it over with. If somebody's feel like somebody's holding him up after his incident there. He's going to be away, and I would assume he's going to be good till the end of the race. Shouldn't have to pit again. Rich has caught and passed Nathan, putting him into P10, now up 12 positions. We've seen this before with Richard, where he can get on a mission and just really put some laps in. When he really wants to, he can be incredibly fast. Which he was up in the mix in the sprint race. It was just a little unfortunate him and Richard Hibbs, who are teammates, got into each other a little bit. Oh, we got a little battle back here for P3 in the amateurs between Mark Rondeau and Jeff Oakes. Looks like Jeff Oakes is going to stay out there. He's kind of opened up the gap a little bit, I believe. They were closer when we hopped over to it. Let's see how they do through the bus stop. Staying pretty even, but as they go down the straight, he's going to be able to catch up to him here a bit. Let's go. How close is Declan to Morgan? Let's have a ride along with Declan here. It's about the closest thing on track. Things always seem to happen when I go on ride-alongs too. Oh, that's Morgan. Something a little bit more interesting to look at here than just a clean track. So they're currently sitting about 3/10 from each other. The draft's gonna
Coy, I'm gonna be coming in this time.
soak all that up here, down to 2/10, under 2/10. Gonna have to back off a little bit for the bus stop. You really don't want to be side by side in the bus stop. It's gonna absolutely kill your speed. A pack behind can gain. It's super dangerous. As we come through here, I'm interested to see if we hear him lift at all. Oh, yep. He lifted just to stay behind Morgan. He's just going to be hanging out there. I'm sure he feels Morgan is fast enough that he can just hang out behind and kind of go for a cruise. Oh, Skyler is down into the pits, as well as Jimmy. We heard Jimmy make the call there. Coy McGrath coming in as well. Tiago coming in. So at 20, yep, we're at 24 minutes. That seems to be about when people start pitting. We'll see who gets out first here. Skyler's clearing away by quite a big gap. I'm not sure how close everybody was as they were going in. Here comes Coy. Tiago's getting moving. Jeff is in. Daryl's in. Chan's in. Go back and have a look at Richard Hibbs here. He's got Peter right behind him still. Brandon, was Skyler with Brandon? Is that where he was? Because Brandon's now alone out there. Oh, he went ahead and pit. So we got Morgan, Declan, all the leaders coming in. They really don't want to go out there by themselves and lose time from not being able to draft together. Our amateur leaders in. Let's see how... Oh, great camera. Great camera. There's no good... Whoa! They're still inside each other. Morgan just barely makes it out ahead. Wow, that was close. Brandon Dooley gets out. Peter's away. There's Skyler coming into the mix. Right about where he was, sitting there with Brandon. So that twosome's going to pack back up. Peter is close. Richard looks like he was a little slow out, maybe. Peter was about 3 seconds faster on the full pit lane time. So Peter made up some time, made up enough time to get around Rich, and also kind of gain on Skyler a bit. I think he's going to be in drafting distance now when they come down around the straight. So it looks like pretty much we got a few people that were in that early incident going in now for fuel. Other than that, pretty well everybody has pit, it looks like. As far as the amateurs go, we're still looking pretty similar. Nathan's still has the lead. Daryl is the second AM, and Jeff Oakes He's there in third. No, actually, Jeff Oakes just took the spot from Daryl off the exit of that corner. Come through the bus stop nice and clean. Here we got Coy and Nathan coming down to P1, T1. Coy's going to stay out there. Maybe open up the gap a little bit. Oh, Skylar's right on Brandon Dooley. Where is Peter? Peter's not far behind. This could get really interesting. Richard's out there kind of by himself behind him. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch up to him, especially if they get all three of them really together. They're going to be moving down the straight faster than Rich could ever hope to go by himself. Brandon's holding the inside a little bit. Is he scared of Skylar trying to sneak through there? Oh, Daryl just took Jeff Oakes back. Uh-oh, did Jeff have a spin? Oh, that... Just a weird moment that, oh, and then it spun. Looks like the car went off that curb as he was on the brakes and upset the car. Oh, we got some racing now. Peter is there. Skylar's trying to make a move to the outside. Not going to be able to pull it off. Brandon's going to hold on to it. If these guys fight a little bit more, Rich might be able to get up in there, and then they'll have a 4-car pack. If they could work together, maybe catch the leaders. Skylar having a little peek there. Showing Brandon that he's there. This is going to be close down to the bus stop. Backs off a little bit. Smart move. You don't want to be too packed up going to the bus stop. It's a pretty hard braking zone. Put the camera on Skylar here as Peter still there in the background. If I was Peter, I'd probably be sitting here thinking, just watching these guys, waiting to see if they kind of get into each other, maybe make a mistake and sneak through.
I couldn't do that. You don't follow on the horse here. I'm just getting out the way.
Uh-oh, what happened to Kenny? Oh, it just got loose coming around the corner. This car is just so hard to not have the back end just rotate around on you. Man, Skylar's really starting to enforce that he's there. almost pushing a 2 wide going to the bus stop. He's going to lose a little bit of time there from backing out and making sure he's not going to hit Brandon, which really puts Peter in striking distance. Peter doesn't quite have the run, though. I think he had to hold up a little bit there for Skyler. Whoa, going on the outside with a deep break. Sneaks through. Brandon doesn't have that great of a run. Peter might be able to capitalize on that too. Oh, Skyler with the lockup. Peter with a little bit better exit maybe. No, I think it's about the same. But look at that right there in the back. Richard Hibbs is basically here. I think he's going to be within drafting distance by the time they get to the oval. Skyler getting a little bit of a gap there, but that's going to disappear as soon as they get on the oval here. I would say with Richard possibly getting in the draft here, things are going to really start getting interesting. His time is dropping off a little bit, so he's not quite in the draft. He's just, I think he's right on the edge of it. He's got to be close. Brandon right on the tail. Oh, that was close. That almost looked like it touched a little bit. Yep, Richard not quite in that draft. As they're on the straight, he's dropping back. But if they keep this going, he's going to be there in no time. Oh, that's going to keep Brandon on the outside. Peter's going to have the inside. Not able to capitalize on it, though. And now Richard is really there. Rich just setting the fastest lap time as a 1:42.18. We got 10 minutes to go. Is somebody going to hit the 41s tonight? The leaders have been sitting nice and comfy with about 42.5s. So Rich is there now. Skyler's driving away a little bit, but he's by himself. So these three cars should be able to use the draft with each other and catch back up. They should be faster as a pack. Trying to watch what's happening to the time here. I believe they've gained a couple tenths so far. Yep. There's another tenth. Oh, now it kind of drops off a little bit. Interesting. Well, Peter's going to go on the outside. I don't know. I kind of feel like the last thing you want to do right here is fight, though. You don't want to let Skyler run away as everyone's fighting. Richard Hibbs going to sneak up in there and take that position. What'd I tell you? Richard Hibbs coming up out of nowhere. Sneaking up there, our current points leader. This is why he's the points leader. Of course, Brandon Dooley is second in points right now, I believe, if I remember right. So they're kind of 1 and 2. These points matter against each other here. Oh, Peter with a little bit of a lockup. Oh, Brandon with a little mistake, getting a little squirrely. Richard Washown and just past Jimmy. Richard Washown also just set the fastest lap at a 42.12. They're inching closer to that 41 mark. So Peter and Rich have gotten away from Brandon a little bit. That was kind of the worst spot for a mistake to happen for Brandon as they're getting out onto the oval. Any down on speed there, the gap just opens up exponentially. If Rich and Peter can get to here, can get together, maybe they can catch Skylar. Skylar's about 2 seconds out now. Also, Richard Wishown is now up 15 positions. Currently sitting in 7th. Jimmy's definitely not going to give it up, but I don't know if anyone can compete with the lap times that Richard Wishown is putting down tonight. He's had the fastest lap probably 3 or 4 times. For a lot of laps. Peter and Skylar still together. What else do we have going on? Looks like Nathan's still leading up to P10. He was in 11th for a bit. I'm not sure where he got back to 10th. Mark Rondow is currently 2nd with Jeff Oakes behind him, about 5 seconds behind him. Those are our top 3 amateur runners right now. Nathan is up 3 positions. Doing pretty well for himself. In the back we got Kenny and Daniel in a little bit of a tussle, passing each other. Oh, we got Peter and Rich going side by side down into 1, but Peter's gonna eke it out there on the inside. Richard is ready to get around though. Not having a chance to get to the inside, but showing his nose.
Sorry, I got put down.
Letting him know that he's ready to get around at any moment. Is he going to have the inside here? Not quite. Peter's going to hold on to it for now. Also, Richard Hibbs is the first one to hit a 41 tonight with a 141.98. Oh, a little bit of a connection issue there. Looked like he popped in and out of existence. Oh, Kenny back in the pits. Morgan is in 2nd now. I see that he went off track and came back on. Declan had a lockup. Oh! They both... It looked like they've kind of both had lockups and both were a little on rails there. Probably didn't have much control of what direction they were going. Morgan's fighting it back though. Trying to go on the outside here. It's really hard to pull off in this T1. Gonna stay in 2nd. But as I've said before, 2nd's almost the better place to be. Oh! It's a little... Somebody's either a little late or a little early on the brakes there. We're winding down the last few minutes. The race for the lead is about to get a little spicy. Richard still fighting Peter here. Oh, he's on the inside. A little bit of a lockup. And he hold it out. It looks like he's going to get it. He keeps the lead. Should have it through this corner. No issues. Looks like they've caught Skylar a bit. Yeah, they're about 6/10 up from the last time I checked with Skylar. I'm going to guess we have 2 laps to go. Wait, what are there 140 laps? No, maybe we have 3 because we're about to complete one. We'll see if we can see Barney as we go around here. It's going to be really close to the cutoff time. Yeah, so there should be... I think there'll be 2 laps. Oh, Barney flashes by so fast there. Oh no, he is waving white flag. This is the final lap. We got a great race for the lead here, and just further back, we got a really good race between Richard Hibbs and Peter. Peter almost sneaking back up in there, but Richard holding him off. Oh, Skyler with this, with the slide. That's going to put him back in 5th. Go back up to the leaders here, coming around the last corner before the oval. Let's see how the drafting treats them. As Declan, the thing you want the most is just a great exit. Now that he's got a good exit onto the oval, quick little snap through the bus stop and a great exit out of there is all he's hoping for. Keep that momentum up for that high-speed run. Looks like he pulled it off. I don't think Morgan is close enough to be within striking distance before he comes around to the finish. And Declan's going to take the win of the Week 7 feature. Morgan Teggy coming in 2nd. Richard Hibbs 3rd. Peter Arundel just right there behind in a close 4th. Skyler showing a little frustration with his self-inflicted spin there. Slide, whatever it was that happened to him. Brandon Dooley coming in 6th. Richard Wishown, which fastest lap at a 41.96.
Oh, good.
Being the 2nd person in the 41s, but also the fastest. Jimmy coming in 8th. Coy McGrath in 9th. Nathan, P10 is the top amateur. Tiago 11th. Georgie 12th. Andrew 13th. Mark Rondell, 2nd place am coming around. And a little further back, we have Jeff Oakes coming through as the P3 am. All right, let's go in there and announce the AMs so they know. Oh, Jeff's gonna pop out.
That was great. Oh my god.
Amateurs, we have Nathan, Mark, and Jeff as the top 3. Skyler losing P3 to a stupid slow spin. Yep. That was unfortunate. Watch the pros as they come around here so we can get a snap a little picture. Coming to the line. Oh, you can get closer than that. Oh, he's backing up. All right.
Sorry, I'm driving as fast as I can.
There we go. There, that's better. Thank you, guys. No.
I went to the garage before. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it.
Oh, no problem. There they are. Let Nathan move up a little bit here. All right, that works. Thank you, guys. And congratulations.
Nice race, Nathan.
Yeah, that moving T1 in the heat was scary as hell.
All right, let's put the camera on scenic maybe. Was there a... Let's look in here. Should be a scenic in here. I don't know why. There is no scenic. Wow. I'm not just blind, am I? Yeah, there really is no scenic. Interesting, interesting. Well, oh no, there it went to scenic. Oh, was it already on scenic, so it was out of the list? I don't know. Anyways, let's pop up the interview here. Oh, I forgot to hop into Discord. See anybody else in Discord yet, but we'll grab Nathan since he's the first one here. Oh, Skylar's in there. I need to organize this a little better so I can pull people. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, Nathan.
Hello.
Well, congrats there. That was a nice solid race.
Oh, that was insane. I practiced for maybe 20 minutes before this race.
Well, it was
practice session today, but running this in the P2 for years has really paid off apparently.
Yeah. How does that car feel compared to this one?
Honestly, I haven't driven it in so long because of the GTPs that I don't remember. But,
oh, okay.
yeah.
I just feel like I haven't driven the LMP2, but I feel like the 3's harder than the 1s or the 2s.
Yeah, the 3 has a lot less aero grip, it feels, and then even it seems like it has less mechanical grip half the time, but it's pretty even, I feel, with those. But like those slow speed corners sometimes are just wild. But I think something about just this track with a fixed setup that has high downforce really benefits me over other people. Because I like a very planted downforcey car. So I think that just worked out in my favor today, and then just tried to keep it clean. Had a really good fight with Koi for the entire last section of the race, trying to get 9th. Didn't quite make it, and then Tiago got in there right at the end. And
we saw, we kind of popped in and out on you guys, going back and forth there every once in a while, checking up on you.
Yeah, that was some of the most fun I've had on iRacing in quite a while.
Well, that's great to hear. Daytona usually pays out.
A track the car is designed for. Who knew that would be a good track to run it at, you know?
Yeah, imagine.
But yeah, that was really fun. Rondo dove me in T1 on the heat race, and I was like, oh, this is how we all die. But he kept it clean, and then I was racing him for a little while, and then he pulled away, and then something happened in the feature, and I just ended up in first in amateur, and I'm like, yeah, just keep it clean.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a shakeup back there super early on. But yeah, congrats on the win, and hopefully be popping up in the points a little bit.
Hopefully. I'm losing to Ryan, who's my main rival. So we'll see where that puts me.
Yeah, we'll see where it comes out. All right, well, thanks for chatting. I'm going to go grab somebody else.
Yeah.
Let's get, we're going to pull Skylar in here.
Hello.
That was a really good race till the very last lap.
Yeah, you know, you get the white flag, you're looking back at the relative 1.2 to the car behind. Okay, this is perfect. It's all great. And then enter the international horseshoe. Oh no! It's all gone wrong. I've got on the throttle too early because I stopped trying to pay attention to what I was doing.
Oh no.
Just got that lapse of concentration, but I I'll kick myself for losing the P3 there, but P5 is still fantastic, and another 2 laps and I would have gotten there anyway. The two behind me, Hibbs and Arundel, just had such good pace through the bus stop. I just was gonna lose that at some point if they kept going on anyway.
Yeah, they were definitely moving, especially packed up together.
Yeah,
They
I noticed it throughout the race. Whatever everyone else was doing in the bus stop was just better than me. Whatever exit speed they were getting, I was losing a tenth or two every time.
Welcome to my world of Daytona. Everybody is way faster than me in the bus stop, and that's where I always lose all my time. I just can never figure it out.
Usually in the P2, I'm like, oh, I'm getting better exits than people, and here in the P3, I'm just like, no, I'm either braking too early, too late, or I'm not shifting at the right time. I don't know. Just gave up at some point. Just said, well, let's not try to change this mid-quarter. That's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well,
it was very exciting, and that was fun. It was a real good battle through.
Yeah, it was a great race. We watched quite a bit of that 3rd through 5th race there towards the end. It was getting pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it's been like this. I think a lot of the season. It's just been good to have like really good, close, clean fights throughout. I was battling Dooley for a good long while, and taps here and there, but just always this effort to, like, no matter what, don't cause an incident, and that's always a refreshing thing when you get to fight like that throughout, lap after lap, especially around here.
Yep.
Just a little tired, a little gutted, but hey.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointment, but still good finish and great race overall.
Gets me in the spirit for going to the real life 24 next week, so I'm very excited about that.
That'll be great. You gotta watch. I don't know how early you get there, but if you're there early enough, you gotta watch the MX5s for me.
That's the plan, is to go see the screaming Hornets go down to T1 and just end up at a giant heap. So
yep, absolutely. Hopefully it's for extra excitement. Hopefully it's wet again like it was last year, because that was wild.
Yeah, we started to get that peak at like what the conditions might be like, and it's looking like Friday gonna have a little dusting of rain.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Just in time for the Miatas to have the best time possible.
Hell yeah. Well,
cross your fingers.
Thanks for having the chat. I better grab somebody else here.
Yeah, thanks as always, Brian. Take care.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely. Later.
All right, let's grab Rich here. Hey, Rich.
Hey, what's up?
What a climb back there at the end.
Yeah.
You had some serious pace moving in there for sure.
The draft was helping. I just got started getting a whiff of it, but I had to drive so hard to get to that. And then, like, Morgan really wants this championship, you can tell. And he's doing everything he can to keep, fighting for the wins, because that's what he needs right now. And I'm doing everything I can to minimize my point losses at this point. So it was like, I need to get to P3 somehow. And, Skylar gave me a gift there. But, Peter just ran so hard the whole entire race and made it super hard to get to there, and had to do some really bold things around the outside of turn 1, which is not comfy at all. But
yeah, I would assume, especially in the LMP3, it's probably a little iffy out there.
With the high downforce, it's manageable. But you don't want anything to startle you. If it startles you, it snaps and you're gone. So you're gonna have to do 2 phases of the brake zone. You kind of brake a little early, and then straight it and release the brakes, and then get hard on it right near the end, just to try to keep that car beside you, so you can do something on the exit. And it's not easy.
Yeah. Well, we're watching it there. I think kind of snuck away from you after the pit stops, and I was like, Richard's kind of getting within striking distance, and then they really all started fighting each other, and I was as I was commentating, I was like, that's kind of the last thing you guys want to do right now, because Richard's coming, and if you start fighting, he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
All night I was trying to be as aggressive as I could be with anybody around. I just needed the spots, especially after screwing up qualifying the way I did. Totally forgot it was 3 laps. So I did,
yeah,
did 1 and then screwed up my second and parked it. And I went, it was 3, you idiot. So,
I did that almost every single race when I raced in the GT3 league. Almost every single time. I'd always forget. It's easy to do. You get so stuck in that 2-lap mind frame.
yep. So it made me a bit of work, and then the sprint was a ton of fun. The battles were awesome. But unfortunately, Richard and I got together with a bit of netcode, which then just apparently ripped off the nose of my car.
Yeah, that was wild because it looked like you guys barely touched. I actually kind of forgot about that till you mentioned it. Yeah, it looked like you guys just barely touched, and then suddenly your nose just fell off and sunk through the earth. So, not exactly why that happened, but it's good to see you come back.
It drafted better.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't really have a ton of understeer, and I
Huh.
could pull up on cars finally. It was
That's
like,
interesting.
I was like 0.2 of a lap slower, but
Yeah,
it
but as long as you had
drafted better.
draft, yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Interesting. Well, congrats on your P3.
Thanks.
Gonna be keeping those points up. We'll see what happens with Morgan because I know he's had a race or two that he wasn't here for. So
Yep.
next week when that drops off, he's gonna be sneaking up there in the points.
Yeah, he's got 2 no-shows, and then a bad result at well, not a horrible result, but a bad result for him at Fuji, where not Fuji, Zandvoort,
Yeah.
where he got the pit lane penalty, and right now I just got to keep my finish results ahead of that somehow. So it's a bit of work.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, like I say, I guess we'll see next week where it starts to show up at, and then finally week 9 we'll really see it. But yeah, great race, and hope to see you back in the booth next week.
Hopefully. Thanks, man.
Yep, see you. All right, hey Morgan.
Hey.
A little slow getting through these interviews as usual. Nice P2 finish there. I'm sure you were really going for the win. It looks like that last lap you just kind of got a little bit of a gap opened up there.
Yep. I think we were pretty much pacing each other most of that race, just kind of eyeing up where things could happen. I saw him do like 5 or 6 practice runs to the finish line from the bus stop, so I knew what he was gonna do. But yeah, after the contact, I couldn't close it back up again. But it just is what it is. He ran a clean race, and it was definitely fun.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good time out there. There's a lot of close racing all around the track. You guys up front in that just kind of 2-car pack, it seemed like for the most part, for most of the race, just kind of hanging with each other. I don't think anybody was trying to force too much till the end there.
No, I mean, he lifted a bunch of times, so he was just biding his time.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have been a little bit of a douche and pushed him into the bus stop, or not the bus stop, the first horseshoe, just to give him a little nudge to go wide. But I wanted to keep it clean. It's
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he ran real close, and I think lap for lap, I definitely could take him on turn 1, but he had the most important turn down because when he hooked up coming out of the bus stop, I could not match it.
Yeah, that bus stop. I know I don't understand it. Everybody's always faster than me out of there, but it can really make or break a race. That's for sure.
100%.
Well, congrats on the P2. I was talking with Rich a little bit that since you had a couple drop races, these next weeks you're really gonna start popping up there in the points.
Yeah, I really needed Rich to have a worse race than that, but
Yeah, he kind of he was back there in sixth, I think, and then all the cars in front of him started fighting, and he just, he was running really good laps and just immediately was like, well, I'm here now, and then as they're still fighting, just kind of meanders through them, gets past all of them. So
that was a heck of a recovery run, especially getting knocked down to. I know he got knocked down to 7th on the sprint with netcode, and then everybody is fast in the top 10. So heck of a run to get back up to 3rd.
yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, second's looking pretty good. And what were you in the sprint? The sprint you were
3rd?
Up there close. Was it 3rd? Yeah, 3rd.
It's gonna be
So-
real close.
So with him being in 7th in the sprint, there'll be a little bit of a downside there, but
Yeah, I think there's a race that I was 4th or 5th, somewhere in there. So
mhm.
it's gonna be interesting. Also, I think quali counts in these points, right?
No, it doesn't. It's
Oh, it
just
doesn't?
just the sprint and the feature.
Well.
So,
Okay.
yep, I guess we'll find out next week where you start to show up, and then it won't be till last week when we really see where it ends up. But yeah, congrats on the P2 back on the podium again, and hopefully we'll see you next week
Yeah,
when
thank
we're
you.
at. I do this every week when we're at Barber, going to Barber. I completely forgot about that track. We've never, at least Six Sigma on the roadside, we've never been to Barber yet, so
Oh, it's a fantastic track.
could be interesting. I think about the only time I've driven it is in a Skippy, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of traps there. I with this car, since it's got a little bit of downforce, it's gonna be real interesting.
Yep, for sure. Might be a little bit of a wild time. I can think of a few corners that are a little sketchy there, but
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully everything works out fairly well. Yeah, anyways, congrats on the P2, and we will see you next week.
Hey, thank you very much. Catch you then.
Yep, see ya. I think I'm gonna grab Shay here. Hey Shay, are you there?
I am here.
Hey, I had a little bit extra time, saw you're sitting up there, so just...
Oh, we were just chilling, having a little chit chat.
Oh, okay. Just saying hi on the broadcast, and looks like we're going to Barber Motorsports next week. First time Six Sigma's been there.
Probably the first time I've been there as well, I think. I
Yeah.
think I've driven it yet.
Yeah, I think I've only driven it once, and in Skip Barber's, I think. I think that's the only time I've been there. That was way back when I was in the Reddit League.
Yeah, I made the mistake today of I was on Daytona all day today. But I was driving the 296 and the GT free challenge for Class D, trying to get my license up.
Ah, okay.
I was, getting my track down. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it. Jump in tonight, like before practice, even just ran my own single thing, and I'm trying to drive this track with this car, and I'm just like, it was a struggle.
It is definitely different. Like, I've only done a couple different practice sessions in this car, but that first week we did Suzuka, I did some practice laps in it. That was the first time I drove it. I basically rage quit the practice session. So I'm glad I'm not driving it. That's about all I know. It is definitely it may be the hardest car I've driven on the service.
Yeah, I think I can agree to that.
Yeah, and it seems like it's all in that braking. It's so easy just for the back end to snap around on you, or to lock up the fronts. That's easy too.
Yeah, I did a lot of that tonight. I'd say practice was going. driving. I'm like, yeah, I'm a few seconds off. So I knew I was gonna set in the back anyway. There's a couple points there I got into a groove. I was like, enjoying it, being pretty consistent. And then one of the other guys there is like, well, we know you had fun because all I could hear is Mitch is spun it in turn 2 or Mitch is spun it in turn 6. Like that just kept going off, so it was giving him entertainment anyway. But yeah, just kind of lost timing with it, I guess. But yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us out there on the track.
Yeah,
And
so,
tomorrow
yeah,
we're
thanks
going to
for-
be at Talladega. That's going to be a
Yes.
blast.
Yeah, I've been running a lot of that as well, so hopefully try to stick with the pack this time, not be laps down.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
sure.
cheers,
If,
buddy.
hopefully everybody will be able to stay together, and I'm sure if anything really bad happens, where it's just one or two cars that get down, usually Ben will try to get people caught back up. So, because it sure is boring if you're not with the pack. It's it's a tough time to have any fun if you're not with the pack. So
Yeah, that's the hard part of the super speedways there. This is just so much of a gap that can get done there with the length of it, right?
yep, and getting used to that, what the gap actually is, because it looks like you're right behind them, but you still have like a car width or car length between you.
I've been working on that.
It's,
Actually, I spun a guy there the other day for third place by accident because I was a little bit too close in his bumper. But yeah, trying to do that tomorrow, obviously.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have a big one unless it's crossing the line like the season opener at Daytona.
Yeah. I'm sure the boys are gonna put on a show for the finish line as they usually do.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna end the broadcast here. But
All right, everybody.
yeah,
You have a good night.
I'll see you on track tomorrow.
Will do.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Here we can have a quick look at the points. These are not the end result points. But as you can see in the pros, Richard Hibbs is in the lead. Let's see, where's Morgan at? Morgan is down in 8th, but he also has 2 races that he hasn't been here for, as well as Sean Ryan. So they're going to be starting to move up in the points next week. We'll see how far they move up by the last week, I suppose. You never really know till the very last week how things are going to shake out. But Brandon with a P6, he's going to be dropping down a little bit. Skyler finished P5. That's only 2 points more. I don't think Brandon and Skyler are going to swap, but I believe they're going to be closer together in points. So that's kind of how the pros are working out. Nathan winning the race tonight as the amateurs. He's probably going to be moving up in the amateurs. Though Mark Rondeau with out there with a pretty good lead took 2nd, so he's definitely going to be keeping that spot. Kenny didn't have too great of a race tonight. Jeff is in 8th. I'm not sure if Jeff has been here for every single race. I feel like he missed one. But yeah, the points are going to be starting to shrink up and get close. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. We will see you all next week when we're here at Barber Motorsports. We'll have a look at the nice spider statue. That'll be a good time. And then, of course, tomorrow at the Oval League. Let's pop up the race info here. On the upcoming event, Six Sigma Oval League tomorrow, it's going to be Talladega as Mitch and I were talking about. So youtube.com/@turbobull1778. It's on at the same time. I will be streaming my POV on my Twitch channel. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you later.